Good morning, Cherry faithful. I'm walking to the new store, which is really cool, kind of interesting. Tactical command, not required for me today. So it's a bit wet. I live on a mountain now, on the foothills of Mount Wellington. Beautiful view. If you could just, I don't know if you guys can see it, like over there. That's the Hobart Wharf and West Point Casino. Beautiful big boats. Beautiful big boats over there. It's the Durham River. It's a beautiful part of the world. If you haven't been to Tasmania, then you should definitely add it to your to-do list. There's plenty to see, hear, and experience. It's kind of like New Zealand, but with not as good a marketing manager. So, I don't really have a huge amount to talk about, that I can think of. So feel free to just throw questions, hit that question button, ask me anything you like. We're kind of like opening the store when we're there at the moment in Hobart. It's at 106 Murray Street on Hobart, or in Hobart. If you're interested in popping in, we're opening it when we're there, but we're not actually officially open yet. So if you're in the area, please, drop in, look through the window. If you see me there, or you see the open sign, come in. Even if we're closed, just knock on the window and I'm happy to have a chat. But yeah, we're not officially open. If that makes sense. Just getting everything sorted in terms of testing to see if things work correctly and inventory marries up and stuff like that. So don't want to rush anything. I'm too old to rush. Okay, let's have a look. I've got a question came through. Hoop Hits Cards says, how did yesterday's soft opening go? Hoop Hits Cards. So we've got a soft opening all the way through until we have our we'll have a trade night opening, where we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff, just drinks and probably some of Tasmania's finest trophy donuts at the opening. And a bunch of singles, of course, for you guys to go through, buy, sell, trade, etc. So that's what we're working towards. There's a couple of little things that need to come together for that to happen, but we anticipate that'll happen not next week, early the week after. So please keep that at the back of your minds. It'll be probably the week of Christmas, so it'll be a quiet affair. Most people will have something on, I'm sure, but we're really looking forward to that, getting to that stage. But the soft opening yesterday, we had like 3 or 4 people drop in, chat for ages, which was really cool. And it's kind of what this store means to me and what I want it to be about, and that is a real customer facing lo-fi experience. And yeah, kind of like what I anticipated Cherry would be at the start. So for me anyway. Campbell Spong asks, how do we get an invite to the opening trade night? So given the time of the year, I don't think we need to have an invite only scenario, but in terms of the RSVPs, we'll probably put them out on our Facebook group, on our Cherry Facebook group, and also we'll send it out to anyone who's shopped with us from Tasmania that may be interested in coming along, and then we'll just manage it as best as we can there. I don't expect it'll be any huge number of people, but post-Christmas, in January, when we have a couple of official openings, as I trip over, we'll likely do some VIP nights which will require invitation. And like if you drop in right now, there's heaps of deals that are fantastic. Like they're just designed to reward people for going out of their way to come and say hi. So if you are in the area, it is worth dropping in. Jordan in store is unlikely. I guess I'll give you a couple of my quick takes from the recent week. The first take is that I'm blown away that Donruss Road to Qatar is not selling it anywhere nearly as fast as I anticipated that it would sell. It's still under $400 a box, and I think that given the Kaboom's second only to Color Blast, and you can't buy a product with a Color Blast in it for probably under about $600 or $700 minimum. That'd be the EPL. I think it's a big product, and I think it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. So I think anyone out there who likes soccer or just wants to buy a product at what I think is the cheap end of its scale, particularly if you're looking for long-term sealed wax, I'd be buying Road to Qatar right now. What else? I love that the Donruss Next Day Autos for the basketball are coming back. I'm not concerned with this year's rookie class in the sense that I feel like the NBA, like there's a different style of play at the moment. Which we're going to need to get used to. But it definitely looks like it's going to be a prospector's year because they're not putting up big numbers. Beautiful little bay here. Hey J Hitch, Malay, how you doing? Good to see some new and old names there. Beautiful little bay right before you get to Rest Point. There's often ducks down there, so I get dragged there quite a bit. Living on a mountain makes it constantly, the weather's just constantly changing. Rain, no rain, rain, no rain. Which is cool, I like it. The water in the mountain kind of balances me out. I did brush my hair. That's really rude. It just doesn't listen anymore, man. It's dead and it's... Anyway. Mr. Hargraves, how you doing? Who Hits Cards is using an inside joke. Have we got the Shane Warne custom Siggy Butt card made yet? Man, I don't know. Maybe we've got to reach out to Tyson to do that one. I reckon we could potentially get like a David Boone custom done. An in-store custom appearance signing. That'd be cool. He'd be arguably one of Tasmania's greatest exports. Maybe David Foster, the wood chopper. I think wood chopping needs a resurgence, personally. Got the Flux basketball shipped today, I think. So Flux basketball will be here next week, which is, I think it's exciting. I think people are sleeping a bit on Flux. I just bought a lot more of it, so I hope they are. I feel like it's got elements that are really unique and new. It's got a design that people really liked when it was included in Chronicles. So I guess we're going to wait and see how they play. when we get the case breaks underway. But that kind of galactic style, potentially one per case, potentially rarer. Maybe some of them would be like 1 every 10 cases, which would be really cool. I think they could become some big boy cards. We'll find out. Hoop hits, real question this time. What are your thoughts on Recon? Seems to have had a mixed reception. So Recon dropped, how you doing, Dan? Recon dropped as I was moving. So I didn't really have a lot to do with it. But I'll say this, I kind of got an alarm one day from Josh, and he said, "We got a problem. We're holding a lot more Recon than we probably should be," and that worried me a bit. I was like, "Oh, like this is," because it's a new brand, so it's got none of, like, you remember Prism 13, 14 hit like $80, maybe $100 a box from memory. I got a terrible memory, but I think it was about that. It bottomed out big time, and it had nowhere near the amount of challenges that Recon's facing, because Prism was a new brand. Like it was 12, 13 and 13, 14, that was it. And 13, 14 was like Michael Carter Williams was the best player. So I think when you look at that, when a brand is new, it needs more than maybe, LaMelo Ball, no longer a rookie, and Ant-Man, no longer a rookie, to kind of lift it. So I panicked, and then I was about to put it on sale for Black Friday, and it had all sold. And there was a lot. So it was like 20 cases, I think, in maybe 2 weeks. A bit more than 2 to 3 weeks. So it went from problem to all gone. So I think that it doesn't have something there that people want to sink their teeth into right now. The brand isn't established, which hurts it. The rookie class is no longer really the rookie class, which hurts it. But its price point, still in the sort of overall scheme of things, is still a really good price point at the moment. And so I think people are prepared to take that risk on it. Do I like it? I don't. It's not my style of product. Excuse me. I like Donruss Optic, Prism, Select. Recon's more like Illusions, or I don't know what else. Feels like an NFL product to me. I don't know why. So I don't personally like it that much, but I think it needs time. Good question. Are you still on team? Oh, sorry. Simon asks, are you still on Team Zion over Luka, or has someone else jumped above them as the future? Good question, Simon. I still believe that Zion is generational. I don't buy into the big weight problem. I totally agree that he matured early, and that he was dominating early because he matured early. Obviously, he came into the NBA and dominated men, like completely dominated men. Yes, he's going to get bigger. He's not going to get stupidly bigger. Everyone gets bigger in the off season. I would imagine everyone gets bigger in their first off season. I don't think people really get to know their bodies in like professional sports sense for a few years. And he's had an injury, and a big man with an injury is going to take a lot of rehab. So you take weight off that foot for a while, he's going to get bigger. Like, there'd be absolutely no rush to taper his preparation at all, and I think that's probably what people are seeing. So, do I think that he's potentially going to have an injury which derails his whole career? Well, I don't like to think that about anyone, and I think it can happen to anyone. So, maybe. Like, happened to Brandon Roy. Like, Brandon Roy was not Zion size. I really like Joe Burrow. I like Tua, but both of them have had serious injuries, and they've like 1.5 seasons in. Let's see what happens. Kickoff Cards says, Panini or Topps for soccer products, which brand do you think does the better product? Good question, Kickoff Cards. I'm sorry guys, I'm getting over a cold. I've had it about 3 weeks. The whole time that Panini had the exclusive for basketball, particularly early, everybody wanted... I was going to wear my AirPods, I didn't wear them. Everybody wanted to have more than one manufacturer. Like, soccer is that. Do I prefer Panini or Topps? I think Topps Stadium Club Chrome is the absolute best photos I've ever seen on a soccer card. I think that Panini Color Blast out of Prism is the best insert I've ever seen on a soccer card. I think the optic variations are the most underrated in the whole sort of scheme of things, and I think that the Topps refractors are the most overrated in the whole scheme of things. So I think that the Superfractor is my favorite variation in soccer, and it's second is the Panini Gold Vinyl. So I don't know, I like bits and bobs of each of them. I think that Panini probably has the best variation in their soccer range. And I think Topps are probably best at trying new markets, like Bundesliga, the women's UCL, which comes out, Chrome, which comes out soon. I think that Topps are really good at taking those risks, and probably because they've got a small licensing issue. So, yeah, I think that what you're seeing in that market is two manufacturers doing a really good job of working in the exact same space, and we're not going to see it in a lot of spaces, so enjoy it. Okay, this is a good question. Samuel Atwater says, wanting to start out collecting basketball cards with my young kids, where to start, how to know what packs, etc. Okay, basketball cards. You want to start with 21-22 NBA hoops is your starting point. And I wouldn't say it's your end point, but I would say that I'd absolutely focus on it and the different variations of it, the retails, the blasters, the mega boxes, etc. It's affordable. It's a really well-designed product. The rookie cards hold up long term. There's heaps of short printed rookie cards that absolutely bat above their average in a value sense. So don't get sucked into buying like singles early to complete your sets. Just keep on tapping away at them. And today I will be listing a big drop of 21-21 hoops hobby boxes. I'd recommend you get a box and then keep it in your cupboard, and just give the kids a pack or two every now and then when they've done something, when you want to reward them for something, or on a cold and wet day like today, and just keep on building towards that set. Don't try and chase every set. If money's not an issue, then I'd absolutely have a look at something like Prism or Donruss Optic as well. But it really comes down to what your budget is. So I hope that helps you. Center Core Collective, please use the question mark button. I'm going to address this question. I thought Trey was the MVP last season. I thought he had a massive, literally the day after I declared him the MVP, which was like 5 games in, might have gone early, I'm not sure. He was ridiculed by his own teammates, by Steve Nash, who was his idol, and it took massive hit to his confidence. He played like a little sook for the next like 10 games. It was terrible. There's been a massive shift. I don't know if anyone has like looked at the numbers of this, but the shift towards team scoring as opposed to individual scoring this season is disgusting. I think Michael Jordan would have averaged 10 points a game if he played in 2021. It's not true, obviously, but it does seem amazing to me how few shots some of these absolute gunslingers are taking. So I don't think he's an MVP this season, or clearly doesn't look like one. There seems to be absolute standouts with Durant and Curry. Giannis is having another great year. So no, he's not going to be MVP this year. Is he potentially going to be one of the most valuable players come the finals? Yeah, I think so. Alrighty, I've answered all those questions. A couple of hard ones in there. Sobes like my answer, good stuff. I feel like I'm going to just leak all over the phone in a minute. Interesting little fact. The walk to the new Cherry store is the exact same amount of minutes as the walk to the old Cherry store. So just look out for that one on your next quiz night. No 7-Eleven though. But the cafes we do have, Retro Cafe on one side with Iris and Yen, and then Trophy Donuts on the other side with Rose and Annie. Fantastic. Like literally going to get a caffeine addiction. So just an expensive one compared to 7-Eleven. You've opened a new store. Dan Howe Card says, you opened a new store in Hobart. What do you think the biggest challenge will be in running 2 stores? That's a really good question, Dan. The biggest challenge in running 2 stores is the same challenge. It's just you have to manage it differently, and that is keeping your people, keeping your team happy. Keeping it's like a car. It's like a well-oiled machine. You need to make sure you're addressing issues as quickly as possible, and you make sure that you need to put in structures in place that make everyone's life easier, and that you're not becoming a problem as opposed to a solution. So that's something that we're going to be working through, and throughout every part of our existence as Cherry. And I imagine this is the same with a lot of the card stores, particularly here in Australia, where it's such an immature marketplace. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just, it hasn't been established for a great deal of time. Is that it's all moving so fast and growing so fast that it's very difficult to plug holes soundly. Like you have to kind of make speculative investments as opposed to really sound ones. So that's the where we're at. I like that logo. Doggos. Cool. I don't know what they do. Maybe that's what Blake was talking about. It's really weird because I went to university here and I hadn't walked down this street until like a few months ago. And it feels so strange being back. Very little has changed, but very little has changed. But I don't know. It feels like it's such a small town feeling in Tasmania. Heaps of people down here, like so many people coming in and saying hi and really excited. Like the store's almost on fire. It feels so positive. There's a real energy. I can't control it. I don't have it. Like it's almost like I had a stroke as a baby, and one side of my face doesn't move, and the other side is always over exaggerating my emotion. So yeah, I apologize. Well, does anyone have any more questions before I shut this down to empty my sinuses? I'm about 15 minutes from the store now, and I've remembered my keys, which is a good start. Well, it seems like it's all, guys. Thank you so much for your support, your questions. I look forward to coming to you more often as I walk into the store, open the doors, and get yeah, I do, and get things underway here. I hope everyone's getting their Christmases in order, and we'll catch up soon. Bye for now, guys.